automated engine is a lot easier. So I have here my operational data exchange. What I'm going to do is right-click on data sources, add a data source, and before I do that, you'll notice I actually have two data sources already. So I'm pulling this in my enterprise discovery hub. I have my CRM system and my ERP system. We also want access to our online orders. So I'm going to add a data source, call this online orders, and we simply just need to specify the database, the server and the database, and click OK. And now we have access to that data. And once we load this data source, we'll be able to see all the data that's in there, and we'll get to choose and select what we want to bring in. But the nice thing about the ODX is we can simply select all of that data. We can simply go in and select all of that data and pull it all in for our users. And that's exactly what we want to do here. So again, we're just going to connect to that data, select all of it, and bring it all into our operational data exchange. And again, the nice thing about having this is no matter what you want to do with your data, say you have users out there that want to do some predictive analytics, they want to pull some data sets out into Excel. Now you have all of your different data sources. Doesn't matter if it's in the cloud, if it's in Excel files, or if it's in text files, you have all of them on a single format in a single location. This right here solves about 50% of the business's problems, right? Because now you have it all in a single place, easy to access, and it's fully documented as well. So going back to Qlik, right? So we've solved our data access problems, right? But we also have data modeling problems. We want to make sure we can consolidate data from multiple different data sets and bring that together and present that to our users. We also want to record historical transactions, aggregate data, do a lot of different things like that. That's where we have the modern data warehouse that comes into place. Of course, we can do all of this in Qliksense using the data load editor. It's extremely powerful in that way. We can do any kind of transformations that we need to. However, again, talking about implementing these kinds of things, recording slowly changing dimensions, we're talking about days, weeks to write these scripts, time to maintain these scripts. You also have to have the skills to be able to support that kind of thing for your enterprise. Now, the beautiful thing about Discovery Hub is we automate all of the processes around doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this new data that we just got, our online orders, and I want to incorporate that into my modern data warehouse. So we have the modern data warehouse up here, and we have some, in my data warehouse, I have sales order transactions. I want to take some of these online orders, and I want to synchronize them with my sales order transactions. So we're going to get my online orders transactions table, simply drag and drop that, and synchronize that. What that's going to do is that's going to concatenate those two tables together simply by dragging and dropping that data. And when I deploy and execute, Discovery Hub, again, will automate all of the scripts and maintain all of the scripts around managing that. So we do that process for you. It makes that process much faster and much easier to maintain. So I've incorporated my sales order transactions. I also have a customer dimension here. Let's say we have customers, address line 1, line 2, city and state. So we're recording our customers and where they live. But we only have, our ERP system only tracks where they're currently living. We want to know where they moved from. When did they move? What's happening? How do we record that? That takes a long time to script in Qlik. It's a very difficult thing to manage using pure script. However, in Discovery Hub, we simply go to Table Settings, History, and check Enable History. Now we've enabled slowly changing dimensions for our organization. We can track that history and support that for all of our customers. And again, because we store this and persist this data in this data discovery architecture, this is now available for all of our users to be able to benefit from it. So from there, we can go back to Qlik. And of course, writing these scripts, I'm sure many of you are familiar if you're script developers at your organization. And if you've gotten good at it, I'm sure you've had a colleague or a boss come to you and say, hey, can you build a model for me? I need a model for this purpose, for this specific department or this specific purpose. So again, you have to go back to the drawing board, write that script, and pull that out. So that, again, hours, we're talking hours, days, or weeks to develop that and bring that to your users. So with Discovery Hub, once again, we found a better way. So we can go into our semantic layer here, where we can create semantic models simply by dragging and dropping the data that we need and bringing that in. So I have a semantic model here called sales. We have some tables already added, but now we want to bring in our sales order transactions. So I can right-click here, open data in a new window. I find that sales order transactions table that we were using, and simply drag and drop that onto my model. I can easily select the data that I want to see in my model: sales order ID, order quantity, and unit price, and click OK. And now, because I have the relations in the data warehouse, it recognizes those relations, and I'm able to select those and bring those as well into my semantic model. So we'll click OK, and then from there, we're able to easily generate Qlik script to push that data into an app or directly into a QBD. So here I have all of the tables, the fields, and the relationships I need for this semantic model. And once I've done that, I simply click Add Qlik Endpoint. And this Qlik endpoint here can be pushed to QlikSense Enterprise, QlikSense Desktop, or generated for QlikView as well. And the beautiful thing about this is you don't need to rewrite your scripts for each and every different solution. You can use the existing models that are there and push them out. So once I've generated this, I can simply right-click and click Create QlikSense App. And this will push that data directly out to Qlik. I'll show you what that looks like here. This is the time extender auto-generated script. So it automatically generates the script and creates those apps for you. Now again, one of the most critical things, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about it here at this event, is GDPR. GDPR is coming out on May 25, and you need to make sure that you know where your data is coming from, where it's going, and who has access to it. And if you don't, you might get some serious fines coming from the European Union. So luckily, with Discovery Hub, we track all the metadata, where it's coming from and where it's going. So when you need to document your work, you simply go to Tools and click Generate Project Documentation. Once you do that, it leaves you with a PDF that documents your entire data discovery architecture. So you know every field, every data type, where it's going, where it's coming from. We can see here, this is my modern data warehouse. We can scroll down to my customer dimension, as we discussed earlier. And here we can see every field. We can see the security role access. It's partially granted to the sales group. We can go down, we can see all of the relationships, all of our fields, data types, and full data lineage. So we know exactly where our data is coming from and where it's going, and we can provide that easily to our users instantly. Any questions? No questions? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Yes, please.